Good day everyone, today we are reviewing Zeekr 7X. It's the newest SUV from Zeekr, and by the way, now our company has the discount for pre-order cars and faster delivery. And if you want to order this car from China, you can subscribe to my Instagram, contact me in WhatsApp or WeChat, all the contact information below this video. Now we will talk about this particular car, which is the first medium-sized SUV from Zeekr, and it is probably the 100th car in the world based on the Geely SEA Sustainable Experience Architecture platform, and probably this car is the best SUV on the market for today. Let's go more detailed. 7X is built using a lot of parts from Zeekr 007, which is the medium-sized sedan from Zeekr, which is not so popular in the market because it's too expensive for a taxi and too sedan and too inconvenient for a personal usage car. Anyway, this car has length of 4.8 meters, the wheelbase is almost 3 meters, and the main difference from 007 that here we have the air suspension, which is not available in 007 but available in 001. Here we have it as well. Generally, in terms of technique, we have here the single motor version, which is 422 horsepower, 440 Newton meters of torque, of course rear wheel drive, and with such motor the car accelerates from 0 to 100 in 5.7 or in 5.8, depends on the version. The first basic version with this motor has battery 75 kilowatt hours. It's self-developed battery from Geely. It's lithium iron phosphate battery, 800 volt platform with actual volt 618, and this battery can charge from 30% to 80 in just 10 seconds, taking 412 volts from the proper charging station. The next battery and the next version is the rear wheel drive and 100 kilowatt hour battery, which is battery from CATL. It's the latest generation Kirin battery, which is used also in 001, 007, 009, one of the newest batteries on the market with the NMC chemistry, which is also 800 volt platform. With this version we have single drive version with single motor, and also the four-wheel drive version, which is the top version and the only car which by default has air suspension without any extra fee. The range by CLTC is about 605 kilometers for the 75 kilowatt hour battery and 780 for 100 kilowatt hour battery with one motor, and 705 for 100 kilowatt hours battery and double motor. The prices of these three versions are totally democratic, and they start from $32,600 for the basic version with small battery. The medium version is about $35,600, and the top version is about $39,000 United States dollars. Taking into account all the equipment which is in this car, it's amazing price. If to talk about the concept of this car, Stefan Schilov is the chief designer of this brand. Before he used to work in Bentley and Audi. By the way, he created several Audi which I really adore. He said that they wanted to build a classical shape SUV, and as you see, the proportions and the ratio of this car is really classical. It even reminds the Range Rover, even of the first generation. They also use the golden ratio here. If you draw something like that here, you will see that it is 0.618, but interior they made more like an MPV with maximum usage of all the space, making the car extremely practical with 32 storage spaces in the car inserted in different places, and the coefficient of usage of the interior space is more than 88%, which is amazing for the current market level. As I told you, with a single motor and 440 Newton meters of torque, this car accelerates from 0 to 100 in 5.7 or 5.8 seconds, depends on the battery size, but with dual motor version this car accelerates in 3.8 seconds, having 646 horsepower and 770 Newton meters of torque, basically same as Zeekr 007. These wheels, by the way, they are optional wheels, and these brakes are optional as well. By default, all versions have 90-inch wheels, but here we have 20-inch wheels with these orange brake calipers, which are produced, by the way, by Akebono, the traditional partner of Zeekr. In terms of body, this car is made of steel and aluminium, and 10% of the steel used here is the super high strength steel, which is formed by the hot pressure with the pressure of 2000 kPa. Such parts as inside beams, they are made from this super high strength steel, which is actually, Zeekr claims, the submarine standard strength of steel. Other parts inside of the body crate have aluminum, such as door seals, such as in Zeekr 001. We have very massive door seals made of aluminum to absorb the energy of heat in case of accident. But all the exterior panels, except the tailgate, they made of steel, and they have thin galvanized coating, which is very good. The doors, everything, the body case inside is well steel made and have the thin coating. This door, this fender, all of them have thin coating, of course, because it's almost a premium brand, but here we have plastic. But one more thing which I should tell you about, and which is new for Zeekr, because all this part between the wheel arches is one-piece die casting from aluminum, same as Tesla do and many other car companies do, but Zeekr didn't do this before. It reduced the number of pieces in this part by 80 units. Also, it made production, of course, faster. It made the rigidity of body better. It made production cheaper as well. And also the damage in the computer modeling during the accident is 16% lower compared to the traditional production of this part from many different parts. In terms of suspension, we have aluminum suspension in front. It's a double wishbone suspension and multi-link 5-arm suspension in rear. We can add here air suspension. In all versions it costs about 3000 USD, but in top version you don't need to add money, it is already included there. But about this suspension I should tell you much detailed. First of all, it's air suspension with 5 speeds of changing ground clearance, and the top ground clearance is 230 millimeters. But here we have also the electromagnetic shock absorbers with the DCC system, which is damping continuous control. It means the shock absorbers can change their characteristics several hundred times per second. Here they work together in ensemble with the cameras. With the LiDAR system, it means the car sees the environment, the car sees the road conditions, the car sees all the bumps on the road and changes the characteristic of the shock absorbers. Today we will check how it works. Yes, some other manufacturers had it before, but I think in Zeekr this is the first time to have it. Now let's go to the appearance of this car. Basically you cannot change it almost at all except this light bar. This light bar is optional. It has 1600 LEDs, and they say, the Zeekr says that the standard of quality and durability of this LED is 5 times more than the normal standard in the industry. This bar is the same as in Zeekr 007. You can write here words and can project some words, something you write from inside here, and also it can change the shape of the front light and so on. But this is mainly decorative feature. If you need to edit, it costs 8000 RMB, which is about 1,200 United States dollars. The autopilot based on NVIDIA RNX 508 trillion operations per second chip is standard in all the cars. The driving video recorder is standard, cameras 360, and generally we have here 11 cameras. They are all by standard, by default. Here we have the automatic door opening, and in this car, interesting that they still have the door handles and automatic door opening at the same time. They didn't cancel the door handles as they did in 007 and in Zeekr X, but here they have it. Unfortunately, when you open the doors, even not using the electric drive, which can be turned off, you still feel the resist of the mechanism which should open the doors. So I don't like this feature at all, but if you want to edit, it costs I think 8 or 12,000 RMB, which is about $1,500. In other terms, you cannot change this car visually except the rims. As I told you, the basic wheel rims are 19 in all versions, but you can add 20-inch with or without extra brakes. Also, you have many exterior color for this car, which is more than some of Zeekr models like Zeekr X. This color is extremely beautiful. It's totally new for Zeekr. And I will make a slideshow of all the colors right now on screen so you can check that one which you like. Now we should go inside of the car and I will show you some other interesting things. There is one more option. When in B pillar you have the Face ID system. It's kind of camera which is like in your smartphone. In this particular car you don't have it. It costs around 8,000 RMB as well. Now we open the car and I will tell you about the interior as much as I know. Here we have the frameless door with a single layer glass, which is normal glass. Here we have the door card, which here has the trim, quite soft trim. Here is soft plastic as well with some stitches. Here you have the soft material, no, it's rubber material inside of this pocket. Here we have the first one of the 32 hiding space in this car, which is very nicely finished inside and which would be perfect for the sunglasses. Actually, it's for glasses, as is literally for glasses. Here we have the sound system of Zeekr. It's the same in all versions. It's 21 speaker, 2160 watt power, 7.6 speaker made by Zeekr. It means we have 7 mid-range speaker and 1 subwoofer and 6 high-range speakers, high-frequency speakers. And it's very good sound, especially the high-frequency, mid-frequency is perfect, but the subwoofer I would like to have a little bit more here. You don't need to pay anything extra for this sound system. Here we have the steering wheel covered in natural leather with heating in all versions by default. Here we have the HUD, which is 36 point something inches. And here we have the gauge cluster, which is 13 inches of diagonal. And here we have the seats, about which I would like to talk more detailed. First of all, we have 3 versions, 3 color schemes of this interior. One is gray and black like this, one is completely pure black like you see now on the picture, and the other is white and purple, but actually it's not white and purple, it's white and gray. The seats in front always have heating, ventilation and massage by default. The massage is very good, the heating and ventilation is very good. By the way, in Zeekr 007 there was kind of scandal because they made the car cheaper and they didn't have ventilation right here because of some construction issues, because the floor was too high in that car, the price was too cheap. But here no problem, the ventilation is everywhere, the massage is very good, the vast variety of regulations, like this part for knees is electrically regulated, the seat cushion can be regulated separately, front part and rear part lifted up and also down, and here we have the lumbar support, so it's totally perfect. The material is forged leather, but for extra 8,000 RMB you get the Napa leather. Finally, we are inside of Zeekr 7X. This is amazing car, a lot of features right here. I will start from this lamp, which can change the light temperature. Actually, I have same at my home. It can be very soft and very white as well. Here we have the huge panoramic sunroof with sunshade, which is the only Zeekr I think with the sunshade, which is electric, and we can use this physical button to close it, and also we can close it from the quick control menu here in the car picture right away, where it shows how we can close it completely or we can close it like that. And this construction is very nice because the material here is extremely thick, and I'm sure that no any sun will bother you when you are inside of your Zeekr 7X. The seating material is a nice textile material. It's not Alcantara, but this material is quite nice as well. Here we have the perfect ergonomy. As for me, I think it's totally extremely perfect. Now I'm in the lowest position of the seat. I feel extremely nice. I feel the car totally perfectly. The view in the mirrors, the view in front is very nice. I see the heels of the front cover. Actually, I like it very much. It feels very let's say expensive. In terms of safety, this car has 7 airbags, and by the way, I think this is the only car in the world, at least the only car I know in the world, which has the automatic system of breaking the driver's glass in the door. We have some mechanism which breaks it in case of emergency. For example, when car goes into water or something. It was shown at the presentation of Zeekr 7X. Now we go to the driver's seat. The ergonomy is totally extremely perfect. All the armrests are very nice. Here we have everywhere material with stitches, everywhere made everything nice. Here we have the closing cup holders. These cup holders have these nice features, the opening by the button. Look at this, I've never seen something like that before. Here we have the 2 wireless charging with cooling, which with power of 50 watts, and this is the basic version. We are now in the basic version of the car. All versions have it same. Here we have the 16-inch main touchscreen, even it is a little bit more than 16-inch diagonal. It's based on Snapdragon 18925 or something chip, which is the latest generation. Everything works completely perfectly, completely smoothly, and unfortunately for now we don't have English language in this system, but later maybe we will have. The menu is typically Zeekr menu, which is very logical, very nice and very beautifully drawn. No any lags completely at all. Just look at this. Also, we have this block of physical buttons, which is extremely nice, amazing, which is thank you very much for that, which have the driving mode selection, which must be on the physical button, which is 10 out of 10, and this is very expensive. It feels really premium. By the way, we have this glove box, and this is one of the storages about which I told you we have 32 in total. The quality inside is extremely nice. It's soft coating. Also, we have this storage for the passenger as well, and this is even with micro lift, same as in my door. Look at this. It's so nice, so smooth. By the way, here we have one more thing, which is the armrest, which with extremely huge box inside with about 7 liters, with also soft finishing, but you can change it for just $425 to a fridge, which is at the same time an oven. The fridge can be from -6 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius, and it's so cheap and it's so nice. You just take it off right here. Here we have the button, and you change it to a fridge which you buy separately in the Zeekr store for your Zeekr 7X, and this box can be opened in 2 sides. By the way, I don't know any disadvantages, any problems with this car, because it's extremely nice to sit here. This ambient lighting is the strip which goes all over the car, and the total length of this ambient lighting strip with continuous numerous colors is 4.5 meters, and everything is soft here. Here you have stitches, here you have just soft material. This material is some new grade. It's something between an Alcantara and between the leather. Bravo Zeekr, it's 100 out of 100, and of course we have the monitoring of tire pressure, we have the driving video recorder, we have everything here in this car what you need. Now let's go to the rear row. Okay guys, this is the second row, and this is the basic version. I will show you what we have here. We have the second row seat heating, which you don't need to add extra money, but the small problem that you can turn it only from the central control touch screen. You cannot turn off or turn on right here, unfortunately. The seat cushion is extremely long, the floor is quite low, is very low, and it's extremely comfortable right here. Actually super nice. By default we have the electrical regulation for this passenger of this front passenger seat. We can move it front and backwards, we can change the angle of the backrest. Also we have here the quite simple armrest with soft trim here with USB ports here, which is quite comfortable, have cup holders. That's probably all, and of course we have the button of electrical regulation of the seat of the back right here. But if you add here the extra package for just about 2000 USD or something, you will get much more. First of all, you will get the massage and ventilation of the rear seats. Secondly, you get the zero gravity seat right here. Thirdly, you will get the seat which can move backwards and forwards, same as the front seats. It's amazing. With this option, this car becomes the leader of the market in terms of comfortability of the second row. But that's not all. For about 5,000 RMB, you can add the touchscreen right here, which will be unfolded by a button which will be inserted right here, and it will be a huge planchette with something like 15 inches or something. There can be also a table which will be unfolded as well, and it can hold about 20 kilos. It can bear 20 kilos of weight. The floor is extremely nice, the floor is almost completely flat, and I think this second row is one of the best on this market, and I will be happy to ride here 10 or 20 hours or whatever. Now you check these beautiful well-passed covers in the door cards, which look so premium and probably hide something interesting under them. And yes, if you push this button, you have the sunshades, electrical sunshades, which you don't have even in Zeekr 001. This car is a truly premium car. So I told you about 32 storage space inside of this car. Here we have one more. But here under the rear seats, we have this 1 and 2. Amazing. I always said that under the seats you have the storage space, which actually can be used, and they did it. Here probably we don't have. Super nice. The trunk here is completely amazing. First of all, we have the electric tailgate in all versions without any extra money. The shape is very correct, the finishing and the trim is very nice. Here have the hacks for fixation, here have the subwoofer. I think it should be one, but here I see two. Here we have the niche with this false floor, which is just holding right like that, which is made properly. Here we have the tire repair kit by default in all the cars. Here we have one more niche under this false floor, maybe about 20 or 30 to 40 liters, I guess. Everything is extremely nice. Here we have the 12 volts power output. By the way, in the seat package about which I had just told you, we have the 220 volt socket added. But generally this car has V12 function in all the versions by default with power 3.3 kilowatts. Now let's fold the rear seats and you will see that the floor here will be almost flat floor. And by the way, the volume of this trunk is 660 16 liters like here, and 978 liters when the seats are folded, but in fact I think it's much more than 1.5 cubic meters. I don't know why they calculated like this. Let me show you the ground clearance of this car with the non-air suspension with just springs. So here we have basically 196, but no, I just had a little bit more. Let me show. Okay, 197 millimeters. Here we have the suspension, which is mainly aluminium with very massive arms. With air suspension, the ground clearance can be up to 230 millimeters right here. You see here is 197. The quality of everything is amazing. Everything is well passed. Everything is robust and so on. Let's go to the middle of the car. Here is the middle of the car, and here we have something about 196, exactly same ground clearance. Everything is very nice here. The thickness of this aluminum protection of the battery is about 3 to 4 millimeters. Just look at this, very beautiful, very shiny. I adore this car. And under the rear suspension we also have clearance about the same, and here is the multi-link suspension, mainly with steel arms, and everything is made exactly beautiful, exactly same beautiful as in front. Now I will open the front mainly to tell you about the PTM 2.0. This is the new thermal management system of Zeekr, which had the 9 output or input valve. Like Tesla has octa-valve with 8 let's say inputs and outputs. Here we have 9. Here we have heat pump, and of course all that is good for energy saving and heating and cooling of the interior. Here quality is perfect. Here we have the front. For this case it's about 20 inches or something. Like this, everything looks really nice. Now it's time to make the test drive of Zeekr 7X, and today we will drive two versions. One is the dual motor version and one is single motor version, and one will be with air suspension and this one is no air suspension. So let's start. So now we are driving the rear-wheel drive version of Zeekr 7X, and this car is without air suspension, and it's basically perfect. It's basically perfect. I like the air suspension from Zeekr, at least in big Zeekrs, same as for example in 001 without air suspension. It's adjusted perfectly. The steering wheel sharpness is same as in the four-wheel drive top version. Now we are in the sport mode, and from the start this car doesn't seem to be so super dynamic, despite it has 422 horsepower. But you should understand that first of all it's electric car with single gear, and this gear could not give you so much torque on the low speed as for example a car with a normal gearbox give you, even if there is 2 times less power. And at the same time the adjustment of this motor, the adjustment of the controller is definitely made not to make it super fast and super battery consuming from the beginning. And at the same time we have of course the ESP system, which basically can be turned off as in most of Zeekrs, but the test drive team usually doesn't allow it, and I don't like to do it as well. The dynamics of 422 single motor version is more than enough for just normal city transportation. Now I will try to show you what this car can in terms of acceleration. Meanwhile, I must say that the energy consumption is basically almost same as in a four-wheel drive version. Here the total and average energy consumption for 644 kilometers, this is the total mileage of this car, is about 22 kilowatt hours per 100, and in current trip it's 20 point something. Yeah, now you see we are starting just from 50 to, for example, from 50 to 70, it's like half a second. It's a quite fast car. Yeah, it's enough for overtaking in the city. The feeling of the car is extremely nice. The mirrors are in the proper position. The view in the rear view glass we don't have at all, but in all other glasses it's very, very nice. The quietness in the car is good, is way better than for example in 007, and maybe it's approximately same level as in a really premium car like 001. The same in the other car. He sometimes doesn't understand when to turn off the turning signal, but nevertheless the turning signal sound is pleasant, and the usage of the understeering wheel switches is very, very pleasant as well. I cannot pretend to be surprised by this car because I've driven a lot of Zeekr. Basically I've driven all versions of all Zeekr which I know, including the 007 performance version, including 001 Z Sport U version, and in all the terms this is one of the best Zeekr with air suspension or with just normal springs. Everything drives and works here just perfectly. The ergonomy is also perfectly. The suspension, in my opinion, is perfect as well, and the dynamic currently with drive 70. Now it's already 110 just in 2 seconds, and it's a single motor car. It's basically more than enough for the city driving, of course, if you don't need this super powerful acceleration which the dual motor version offers you. For those who haven't driven 001 and 7X, I would explain this car like a truly premium with the highest grade of double wishbone aluminum front suspension, and this car reminds me from everything European I have ever tried. This car reminds me the Mercedes-Benz EQC, where the despite being the modification from petrol to electricity car, the tuning of suspension is perfect, 100% perfect in my opinion. This car feels exactly the same. I would not like to add or change anything right here. So now we are driving Zeekr 7X, and this car is perfect in terms of ergonomy, in terms of everything. The only small problem here that there is no view from the rear glass and there is no streaming rear view mirror at all. The steering wheel adjustment is very sharp. The car, we can say, is very sportive, and here we have 646 horsepower with air suspension. The sound insulation is not really premium like, for example, in Maybach or S-Class, but it's quite good. It's much better than in Zeekr 007. Here everything works quite perfectly, like the adaptive cruise control system and all other stuff, and the most remarkable is that the energy consumption is quite good. Now it's 20.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but the average consumption is on the level of 23.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and this car is not light at all. This car weighs 2,300 kilograms of curb weight in single motor version, but in this version it's 2,500 kilos. To cut the long story short, this Zeekr 7X is the best Zeekr for now. It's really the golden standard for the size, golden standard for sound insulation, suspension working, and so on. 001 is a better high-tech model with a little bit more premium maybe feeling, but at the same time that car is bigger, that car is already a little bit outdated, and I would probably prefer this one as a more practical and more, let's say, gold standard car. At the same time, the prices are very democratic. The basic version starts from $32,600. The top version is about $38,000, yes, but if you add all the options, which you can, the car will be pretty much expensive. The car price will be almost 50,000 United States dollars. Nevertheless, if you want to order Zeekr from China or any other car, electric car, petrol car, hybrid car, you can contact me. All the contact information below this video. Please subscribe to my channel, push the like button, hit the bell. This was Dennis. I really love cars, and you can leave a comment which car you would like me to review in my next video. Have a nice day.